afternoon, everyone. I'm Wendy Lubavitch in for Val Holly Dennis.
I'm Mark Sapelson, leading live at 5 on this Thursday, January 23rd. An important education story for you and your family. It's been labeled the School of Tomorrow. For the study of the St. Paul's Saturn School shows there are still many lessons to be learned.
Our Super Watch takes us out on the snowmobile trail where there's a whole lot of teeth chattering going on by out-of-town media.
And look who's in town to experience the Super Bowl hype. We'll talk to these two talk show hosts coming up.
Also, the story behind this Arizona man kicked off an airplane because he was too fat.
Live at 5 is next.
You need a powerful office computer. Now Best Buy lets you bring that power home with its Packard Bell 386SX computer with a 100 meg hard drive, 2 meg memory, mouse, modem, software, VGA color monitor, Epson letter quality printer, and more for just $15.98. A 386SX package with printer, just $15.98 at Best Buy. It gives you the power to handle just about anything and opens time for more important things.
Grocery shopping has never been a spectator sport. It's just a matter of whether you're an amateur or pro. Join the pros and be a player at Super Value. Shilling Taco Seasoning Mix, 2 for $1. Snuggle Fabric Softener, 96-ounce liquid or 60-count sheets, 2 for $6. And Papalos Pizza, only 2 for $6. Be a winner. Shop Super Value.
You're watching KSTP, Channel 5, St. Paul, Minneapolis. And now, live from your 24-hour news channel, Mark Sapelson, Val Holly Dennis, and meteorologist Dave Dahl. This is Eyewitness News, live at 5.
Good afternoon to you. If you're a student, parent, or just a person concerned with the quality of our local schools and the education they're providing for our children, you want to pay attention to our top story this afternoon. Now, St. Paul's Saturn School puts Minnesota out in front when it comes to educating our children. It even drew the president here last spring.
He called it the wave of the future in education and used Saturn as an example in his educational goals for the year 2000.
But this afternoon, Minnesota educators evaluating this School of Tomorrow say there's still a whole lot to be learned about it.
A new study on the school is hot off the presses, and Art Sassy has just returned from a news conference with the details. He joins us from the newsroom with the latest. Art.
Well, Wendy, the St. Paul School Board, in connection with Saturn, actually commissioned this report, in a sense asking what's wrong and right about what we're doing. The report found plenty of things right, including personal growth for students and the fact that students actually like going to school at Saturn. But it's what the report found wrong that continues to raise eyebrows. For the second year in a row, Saturn students' test scores declined significantly on standardized tests. Admittedly, part of that problem comes from the fact that Saturn is trying to break the mold of traditional learning.
We're using traditional measurements to compare. And I believe that's where we've failed to make the distinction. And I'm hoping, at least beginning this year, we're going to begin to do a better job, making that comparison.
Superintendent Gaines talked about the need to look at alternative means for testing achievement, but for now, Saturn is making a number of changes in its approach in hopes of raising those test scores.
Art, how damaging do you think this report might be?
Well, you got to remember, the school's only 2 years old, and when you break the mold as they try to do, things can get somewhat messy. Saturn admits it's certainly far from an A at this point, but it also points out this is only a midterm. The final is still several years out, and of course, we'll keep an eye on the progress for you.
All right, thanks, Art.
Well, 3 days until the Super Bowl. We've got you covered on our Eyewitness News Super Watch. All right, how'd you like this? A black tie and beautiful music to greet you as you came in from out of town at the airport today. It's all part of the Minnesota Super Bowl Task Force efforts to make everyone's arrival to the Twin Cities a good one. Complete with information booths and pamphlets detailing Twin Cities sites and activities. Starting today through Sunday, every single person arriving at the airport will get a special greeting by these volunteers in the red hats right there. And if you think the airport looks busy now, wait until Saturday.
Inundated with information, absolutely. Well, for the past few days, out-of-town reporters have had to bite their tongues. I mean, who could make fun of the temperatures we've had this week? That is, until today. The wind chill dropped, what, -20s or something?
Welcome to Minnesota winter. Despite the cold, a few brave media folks decided to get a taste of Minnesota's outdoor fun. Our Eric Gislason went along with them.
This was a day we Minnesotans had intended to showcase our state and the seasons we've grown to know and love. To a good portion of the out-of-town media in town, for the Super Bowl. The snowmobile instructors were ready. The ice fishing houses were all set up and heated. The shores of Lake Minnetonka off the Lafayette Club were full with anticipation. But the buses that shuttled the media out from the city were empty. All those fish houses, all these snowmobiles, all this Super Bowl media. Where is everybody?
It's a perfect day. I just don't understand why anybody's here. It's a little windy, but the temperature's okay, and other than that, it's fine. You can dress for it.
Eventually, a few brave souls ventured out. Mike Storms and his photographer T. Taylor are up from Orlando to cover the game. They looked a 30 below zero wind chill in the face and gunned it on a snowmobile.
We do a lot of jet ski, so we're somewhat familiar with this. You know, it's somewhat the same sensation when you take off, but you know, this is hard water we're talking about.
We're not going to make fun of you now. When we get back home, it might be a different story. But no, seriously, we're having a good time. And, you know, this is what it's all about, too. If you came down to Florida, we want you to try the Florida things, which are different. We come up here, we try this.
Today's media day may have been a bust to the masses, but to the few and the proud, well, we're glad to call these folks honorary Minnesotans this week, because today they earned the title. Eric Gislason, Channel 5 Eyewitness News, Lake Minnetonka.
Eric, check the hotel watering hole. You'll find a few more. By the way, there's a story behind that fish that you saw right there. Tune in tonight at 10 for The Great Outdoors as Eric Gislason takes a bunch of the out-of-town media folks out to the lake for a little fishing. You got to see this one tonight at 10.
All right, well, topping news around America. AIDS may become an issue in this year's Olympic Games. The Australian basketball team is considering boycotting games with the Americans if Magic Johnson competes. Pistons coach Chuck Daly is in town for tonight's Timberwolves game. He's also the coach of the U.S. Olympic basketball team. He says Magic's participation would not bother him.
If he's cleared to play, there's no problem with me. And, you know, a guy like him only comes along once in a lifetime.
You may recall Johnson announced in November he tested positive for the HIV virus. Since then, he resigned from the Los Angeles Lakers team and has expressed an interest in playing for the U.S. team in Barcelona, Spain this summer.
An Arizona man is suing Southwest Airlines, saying he got kicked off a plane because he was too fat. Richard Kaufman says he bought a ticket to fly to Vegas, but when he got his seat on the flight attendant told him that he'd have to get off the plane because his body was, quote, encroaching upon the passenger next to him. Kaufman said he told him he paid for the ticket and he deserved to fly. But the flight attendant threatened to call police, and the whole flight was delayed.
Then there was an announcement that the reason that this plane was being held in delay was because for the passengers' safety, as if I was a terrorist or some type of maniac or something in that order.
Kaufman is seeking $150,000 in damages from Southwest Airlines.
President Bush was talking dollars and cents today, making the economy the topic of conversation at a speech to members of the National Association of Wholesale Distributors. The president gave the members a non-specific preview of next week's State of the Union address, including a warning to Congress against expensive quick fixes.
The deficit is outrageously large, and that we have got to say no from time to time to these fantastically good-sounding but horribly detrimental spending plans.
Now, the president said the way to fix the economy is to pursue common-sense goals, create jobs, cut regulation, and hold down on spending.
Well, it's not going to tip the scales, the trade scales, that is, but the Japanese parliament is buying two American-made cars. Japanese officials say the decision by the legislature's lower house to order 2 Buick Park Avenues is meant to encourage the Japanese people to buy more U.S. cars. Eric Gislason gave us a look at how the out-of-town media took to our Minnesota Winter Fun.
That was lots of fun.
All 2 of them.
Yes. Next on Live at 5, our Super Bowl watch takes us to International Market Square, where thousands of Minnesotans greeted a couple of celebrities.
And from 5 on your side, get out the camera, tips to take picture-perfect shots of that Winter Carnival ice castle.
Don's Appliance and TV announces its huge inventory reduction sale. We need the business, and we're cutting our prices on excess inventory to get it. You'll find great deals, and we offer expert delivery, installation, and service. Plus, we carry only the top brand names, like Maytag washers, the longest lasting with fewer repairs, America's #1 preferred, Maytag, the dependable one. On sale during Don's Appliance and TV's inventory reduction sale, and Saturday in Richfield, Columbia Heights, and Burnsville.
How does Toyota stack up this year? Anything they can do, we can do better.
Can we deliver? Yes, we can.
More reliability?
Yes, we can.
More safety?
Yes, we can.
Best price?
Yes, we can.
Delivering the quality Middle America wants made Toyota the #1 selling import car, and we'll stay #1 by giving you the deal you want.
No way. Oh, yes, we can.
You can't do any better than Toyota.
Can we deliver?
See your Toyota dealer today and find out.
Yes, we can.
Discover Menards' huge selection of paneling and redecorate for less. Choose from more than 80 panels in stock in many decorator patterns. Abitibi 1/4-inch Ridgewood paneling is now just $4.99 a sheet. And remember Menards for light bulbs. You'll find bulbs for almost every lighting need. Sylvania 2-pack soft white bulbs are just 39 cents after mail-in rebate. Save on brand name quality every day at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
If these slip down one more time, I'm fed up with glasses that don't fit.
You don't have to put up with glasses that don't fit anymore. Because at LensCrafters, we have so many new ways to make glasses more comfortable.
LensCrafters glasses fit your snug points with features like new snug fit hinges that hug your head and won't lose their gentle hold. LensCrafters, for that cushion of comfort you've always wanted.
I never knew glasses could be this comfortable.
LensCrafters, better fit for greater comfort in about an hour.
That's a picture-perfect site. The ice castle, the many ice carvings. Around the Twin Cities, though, they won't be here for long.
I know, so if you've got a camera, make sure there's film inside. Last night when the lights went on at the castle, just about everybody with a camera was sort of clicking away. Shooting a roll of film means spending about $15. Money you will feel you wasted if those shots didn't come out picture perfect.
How can you be sure to get a good photo? Let's go live to 5 News Side reporter Steve Filmer. He's out at that castle now with camera in hand, I'm guessing. Steve?
Well, with a home video camera or maybe one of our television cameras, it's really pretty easy because you look through that viewfinder and what you see is what you get. And if there's something out of adjustment, for instance, if it's too dark, the way your screen probably looks right now, you just make another adjustment, look back in there, and then boom, everything looks perfect again. But with a still camera, it's not so easy because what you see is not always what you get. So we put together some tips that I think should help you take some good-looking pictures. First, let's talk about daytime photos. No matter what kind of camera you have, if it's bright or sunny, use a slow film, 100 speed or slower. Don't be afraid to shoot light coming through the ice. Usually you never shoot into the sun, but here, it can make the ice look more spectacular. You may want to take your camera off the automatic setting. Experiment with this ring to get silhouette effects. Night shots will be more challenging. Got an auto shoot camera with auto flash? Then you don't have many controls, so pick a high-speed film like 1000 or 1600.
Because then that will shut off the flash for the person and it'll take a quicker shot. It'll go really fast so that you don't get the blurred effect from movement.
Shut off the flash if you can. It won't light up the ice castle any more than it already is. If your camera has controls you can change, you can get sharp pictures at night with 400 or even 100 speed film. But you'll have to hold the camera still. Use a tripod or set it on something. Usually we take photos with a fast shutter like this. But for the ice castle, try going slower to a slower setting. The B setting lets you keep the shutter open for as long as you like. A cable release will help you from shaking the camera and blurring the photo. But you may be able to do the same thing by simply using your camera's self-timer and keeping your hands off the camera while the shutter is open. Now, a couple of other things. The reasons why professionals get such good pictures at a place like this is they shoot a lot of pictures. They experiment with many of those pictures. You can't just come out here and shoot one shot and expect it to be perfect. The other thing a lot of professionals do is they wait for sunrise or sunset and only take pictures then, because then you've got some color in the sky as well as the color in the ice.
Or you can do what I do, just wait for the poster to come out.
Did you take some pictures, Steve?
I did, but I had black and white film in the camera.
Well, that might be interesting. We'll be interested in seeing what they come out like.
We'll see.
Okay, thanks.
A lot of people got out their cameras today hoping to get a picture of a couple of celebrities in town.
If you didn't see them, hang on. We will take you behind the scenes at the Regis and Kathie Lee talk show, taped today in the Twin Cities. That's up next.
Richfield Bloomington Honda has good news. A 92 Honda Accord LX, no down payment, just $278 a month. Hurry to Richfield Bloomington Honda today.
It was like winding a giant spring. You pull the rope with all your might. Sometimes you thought you'd fly right off. And then you'd lean back and you'd feel the wind rush by. And the world was all upside down with the sun and the shadows dancing all around you. I just kept trying to touch those clouds. And one day, I did.
Just one word could remind you of so much.
Used, this book gets used. It is the one that we use. Used, sometimes abused, but still the one that we use. Used, the one we use.
It's the one that gets used. U.S. West Direct.
That's why it's still the one.
Ethan Allen introduces the American Impressions Collection. Just because you don't have a lot of money to throw around doesn't mean you have to live with disposable furniture. Right now, there's a sale at your Ethan Allen Gallery.
We're kicking the retail prices right out the door this Super Bowl weekend at Tonka Ford in Minnetonka. Super savings on over $5 million worth of new and used cars and trucks. Check this out. A 1986 Ford full-size half-ton pickup with a topper. This Super Bowl weekend, only $109 a month or only $39.95. It's Super Bowl weekend sale at Tonka Ford. We're just minutes from anywhere, west of 494 on Highway 7 and 101. Or call us at 474-FORD.
Obviously, that stick-em worked. Nice catch, Reg. Many of you may have seen Regis and Kathie Lee just before Eyewitness News Live at 5 today.
If you tuned in, then you know that they are catching the Super Bowl spirit, hosting their show right here from the Twin Cities.
Art Barron takes us to International Market Square, where it became center stage today for the two talk show hosts.
Hundreds of Regis and Kathie Lee fans waited outside the International Market Square in bone-chilling cold before the 10 a.m. taping. But once inside for the two tapings of the show, it wasn't long before they forgot about the cold and focused on their stars. The producers of the show chose International Market Square because of its open space, offering seating on almost any level. Perhaps a good view, but a little too far from collecting autographs.
I collect People magazines.
Oh, you do?
And I brought my People magazine thinking that there was a slight chance I'd get an autograph. They do autographs, but up here I don't think so.
Once the taping began, all eyes were on the two who seemed like TV's most happily married couple, even though they're not. For obvious reasons, they're spotlighting the Twin Cities.
Really the best time, I think, of both of our lives, and we're very grateful, and it's finally worked out. We're happy, aren't we, hon?
It took people 25 years to get used to us, I think is what happened. To finally accept the fact that we're not going to go away, right?
Even though they want us to.
That's right.
Doing a show on the road can be quite expensive, but when they can do it, both Regis and Kathie Lee say it's a lot of fun.
I got around last night and saw the beginning of the Winter Carnival. I took the slide. I was there for the illumination of the Ice Palace, and they had tremendous fireworks. It was very exciting.
I went to a hockey game, North Stars hockey game, so we've both been about town, as they say.
Yes, as much as we could.
Yeah.
Even though the show is reflecting the atmosphere of the Super Bowl weekend, the stars won't be here for the big game. Regis Philbin and Kathie Lee will be back in New York, but their appearance here won't soon be forgotten. Art Barron, Channel 5, Eyewitness News.
And if you missed today's Regis and Kathie Lee show, you'll be able to catch the show that was taped this morning from International Market Square tomorrow at 4 o'clock here on Channel 5. And this serious note just in, Art told us that unlike previously reported, Kathie Lee won't be at that Super Bowl. She'll be flying home to New York to take a vacation with her husband, Frank Gifford.
No kidding? They're not going to the Super Bowl, huh? Oh, well.
Of course, he has it, year-round. And
yeah, I suppose.
Started, right?
He needs a vacation from football.
Well, I hope they enjoyed the nice weather
while we had it.
Boy, that was strange. Like 3 a.m. or something, it just came
Yeah,
through.
you could hear the windows rattling.
It woke me up,
It was very, very windy. It caused some blowing snow advisories up in northwestern Minnesota, and that strong wind was actually the leading edge of much cooler air, and of course we felt that when we went outside today. Wind chills down to about 20 below. This is what's more like winter weather, and if you're here from, say, somewhere out east, you're probably now beginning to realize what most Minnesotans live through, and we enjoy it, right? Temperatures right now across the state are right around the teens, and that's the average for this time of the year. 14 here in the Twin Cities, 13 down in Rochester, 14 over in Eau Claire, and 11 degrees in St. Cloud. Temperatures only in the single digits up north. That's the kind of air that's going to be pushed southward over the nighttime hours tonight. But you say, well, does it feel like 14? No. You add the wind to that, and this is what it feels like. 21 below, 29 below down in Rochester, 31 below over in Marshall, 30 below up in Fargo. Yeah, the wind is still howling. Even over in Eau Claire, the cold air is just arriving. That feels like 11 below over there. The types of wind chills anywhere from 20 to 35 below. That's what we're going to be dealing with tonight. And outside officially at the airport to go along with that 14, our dew points at a very dry 3, 61% for the relative humidity, a northwest wind now at 23, gusting to 28. And that's why it makes it feel like 21 below on exposed flesh, 29.73. It's the barometric pressure that is rising, and we do have clear skies. We're expecting to see mostly clear skies tonight. And that's going to allow that temperature to cool off. What a beautiful picture over on Harriet Island, looking at the world's tallest ice castle. Of course, you've heard that many times, 165 feet tall, but you can see now there is some wind to go along with that, and a lot of folks that were out enjoying any of the outdoor activities, of course, had to be bundled up today. And about the same story for tomorrow, except we're going to see that wind switch around out of the south, and it'll probably bring up some warmth. Big storm system in the east. For the folks that are visiting from the east, they're getting very wet and also going to get into this cool air. After they had record heat yesterday down in the southeast especially, this cold air is finally arriving to many spots in the east. But clear skies for us, then a new storm builds up out to the west, and that could spread some light snow in our direction, especially late tomorrow. Better chance for that light snow tomorrow night. Forecast in detail for the metro overnight tonight. Mostly cloudy or mostly clear skies, actually, that should be, and it will be cold, 3 below to 2 above for overnight lows. Then for tomorrow morning, partly sunny, starting out at 0. The clouds, though, increase during the day, and we're going to have snow developing late, 23 to 28, south winds at 5 to 15. For Friday night, periods of snow, and the way it appears now, it could be an inch or so, maybe a little bit more than that, but nothing we can't deal with, 5 to 10. Then the outlook for Saturday calls for a partly cloudy day, 23 to 28, so a little bit of sunshine Saturday, but as we look ahead towards Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, a chance of snow develops for Super Bowl Sunday, and the way it appears right now, it's not going to be enough to cause a lot of traffic problems around the Metrodome. So that's the good news.
Just enough to give it the old Minnesota atmosphere.
Very good.
Thanks, Dave.
I'd like to take a moment now to congratulate some of the members of our staff. Today, Channel 5 received the Iris Award for its half-hour news program called Minnesota Live Tonight, the Community and the Cops. Now, the program explored the conflict between community activists and the police after the 1990 police shooting of Tysel Nelson, a Minneapolis teenager.
Chief, how would you characterize the situation in North Minneapolis? Is it a crisis or a crisis waiting to happen?
Well, it's certainly tense.
The Iris Award is issued by the National Association of Television Programming Executives for Programming Excellence. It was produced by Gail Brown and included the contributions, obviously, of reporter Jackie Renner, as well as Angela Storr and Randy Meyer.
Good for them. Well, next on Live at 5, the day's health news. If you have high blood pressure, you will want to know about a new program that could give you free medication. An explanation is coming up.
For a limited time, the Dodge Sales Drive drives on.
Don't drive. Best Dodge deal right now.
So hurry to your Dodge dealer now and still own Shadow America for only $69.84 thanks to $1,000 cash back.
Drive it right now.
Still $500 cash back on Caravan, and you can get air at no extra charge.
Drive it right now.
Still up to $2,000 cash back on select Dodge trucks and package savings up to $26.83.
Don't drive.
Hurry, time is running out.
Time really does a number on your car. At Maaco, we're ready to do a number on your car, too. But this number you'll like, 1-800-345-8500. For only half price, a great Maaco paint job. Now during our
Maaco half-price paint sale.
Call 1-800-345-8500 to get a coupon for a $499.95 Maaco Supreme paint job at only $250. That's half price.
So come on in. For half price, we'll paint the whole car.
28 inches, 6 inches, 14 inches. Now that's a lot of snow, and there's more to come. Just how much snow we'll get is anyone's guess, but if it's your guess, you could win one of these Toro snow throwers, a CCR 1000, the Toro Powerlight, or the CCR 2000. Send your guess of how many total inches we'll get through March 31st on a postcard to KSTP TV, 3415 University Avenue. That's in St. Paul, Minnesota, 55114. Winners will be announced on Channel 5's 10 p.m. news April 3rd, and good luck.
Once a year, there's a coat sale so big it breaks records. Right now, Burlington Coat Factory has slashed its already low prices on over 2 million coats during its once-a-year warehouse sale. It's America's greatest coat sale with tremendous savings on top-name coats for women, men, and children, plus sportswear, kids' clothes, and menswear at the lowest prices of the season now. Don't wait. At these prices, they won't hang around long. Save now on coats and so much more during Burlington's once-a-year warehouse sale.
Time now for the day's health news. Let's join Wendy with the health capsule.
All right, thanks, Mark. Leading today's health headlines, a new study shows it doesn't take much to overcome iodine deficiency for 1 full year. The latest New England Journal of Medicine reports that a single small dose of iodine-laced vegetable oil safely corrected severe deficiencies in 75 people. And the Chinese claim that they have found a way to break drug addiction within 30 days using herbs. Doctors say they have successfully treated 700 addicts with a combination of traditional Chinese herbal medicine, acupuncture, and Western medicine. Well, oral medication is still the best treatment for cardiovascular diseases. They affect more than 1 in 4 Americans, and they're the major cause of death in the U.S. Among those at highest risk, 61 million people with high blood pressure. For them, medication isn't effective simply because they cannot afford it. But that is changing in just a few weeks, as today's health experts explain.
Effective March 1st, Bristol Myers Squibb will make available at no charge its entire line of cardiovascular pharmaceuticals for those Americans who have fallen through the system of public and private health care coverage, which comprises the nation's health care safety net.
Poverty is a considerable problem in cardiovascular disease because all the cardiovascular diseases, coronary heart disease, hypertension, congenital heart disease, are more frequent in the poor than they are in the affluent, as are all other diseases as well.
It's important because these are people who wouldn't be able to afford prescription pharmaceuticals that can lower their blood pressure or lower their cholesterol and ultimately result in health care savings.
Well, we've asked every pharmaceutical company to come forward, as Bristol Myers Squibb has. There are other programs out there, but this is a very important step today. We're also we're working with a task force to look more closely at this problem of lower socioeconomic status being a risk factor for heart disease.
Now, if you think you qualify for the program, you should contact your physician, and he or she will set you up with a special 800 number. One footnote to the story shows just how dramatic the need for help really is. The Employee Benefit Research Institute says in 1991, nearly 36 million people under the age of 65 had no public or private health insurance. According to the research group, that number is up now more than 1 million for 1989. And that's today's health capsule. Mark?
Okay, Wendy, when we come back, a look ahead at some of the stories later on Eyewitness News. And we'll go slipping and sliding with the governor on the Winter Carnival ice slide.
When the NFL chose Minnesota for the Super Bowl, it also chose GMC Truck. You should too. Choose Sierra and get $500 cash back or GMAC financing. Choose Safari and get $750 cash back. Choose a Sonoma pickup and get your choice of the rebate or the GMAC finance rate. Or choose a Jimmy and get up to $1,500 cash back. This winter, choose GMC Truck. About the only thing better would be a snowmobile. See your Vikingland GMC Truck dealer today.
Pioneer brand, 3578.
It's here. The super event you've been waiting for.
It's Super Savings Days at your local Northland Ford dealer. Now backed by popular demand, 2.9% financing on Ford Escort, America's best-selling small car. That's right, get 2.9 financing for 48 months or $750 cash back. Hurry in during Super Savings Days because 2.9 financing on Escort ends February 4th. See your local Northland Ford dealer today.
Attention, everyone who owns a car. Rust is on the way. And if you think a manufacturer's warranty is going to stop it, just look around. Fortunately, there is something that can stop rust. Seabart Tidy Car. Right now, our winter protection package is 40% off. Get rust protection, fabric protection, plus underbody sound barrier for $319.95. 7 locations to serve you. See your white pages.
Let's check on the stories that we're working on for our later newscast.
Stan Miller standing by in the newsroom with a preview of that.
Mark and Wendy, coming up during Eyewitness News at 6, Channel 5 Super Bowl Super Watch continues. With 65,000 fans in the Dome and thousands more partying outside, what happens to all the trash? A look at the Super Recycling Plan in our Down to Earth report tonight at 6. Mark and Wendy?
All right. Thanks, Dan. Also, you want to be sure to tune in for Eyewitness News at 10 o'clock. The Super Bowl is here, and so are the Super Crooks. Some people are saying your wallet or purse has never been in so much danger. Tonight, we'll tell you about the problems and show you ways to prevent getting ripped off.
But finally, on Live at 5, the St. Paul Winter Carnival's Super Ice Slides opened near the state capitol today. And one of the first people to take a trip down the giant slide, none other than the governor himself.
I thought I had rocky rides before. Wow.
The slide extends nearly 750 feet down Cedar Street. It will be open to the public until the last day of the Winter Carnival.
See the Democrats at the bottom of that slide there throwing the rock salt down?
We thought that'd be a good little recreation during noon hour for some of the lawmakers coming from some of those hearings or something.
In fact, instead of dinner tonight, why not head over to the slide, shall we?
Yeah, actually, it does look like a lot of fun.
It does.
Did you see the lighting last night of the Ice Palace?
Yes.
I think it was spectacular.
It's fantastic.
It made you proud to be a Minnesotan with all these out-of-town guests. And I mean, they did it right.
And it was fun to see the out-of-towners saying, wow, never seen this before. Wouldn't see that in Miami.
I know, we're looking good to the nation. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
See you back here at 10 o'clock tonight.
From ABC, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Good evening. We begin tonight with great expectations. It's been another day of coast-to-coast speculation about what the president is going to say in his State of the Union address.